Good evening, everyone. You are watching our special news coverage.
Today we are following an ongoing protest movement that has attracted nationwide attention.
This movement has drawn great attention across the country, especially among students, civic groups, scholars, and ordinary citizens. The background of this protest is related to Cross-Strait Service Trade Agreement, also known as the CSSTA. The agreement has signed between Taiwan and China, and it was designed to open up parts of the service industry on both sides. Supporters of the agreement believe it could bring more business opportunities and help Taiwan's economy become more competitive. However, many opponents worry that the agreement could make Taiwan too economically depend on Taiwan. More importantly, many students and civic groups argue that the review process of the agreement was not transparent enough. They believe the government tried to pass the agreement too quickly without enough public discussion or careful examination. Because of this, the issue became not only an economy debate, but also a debate about democracy, government transparency, and the future of the Taiwan.
Right, I'm now reporting from outside the Legislative Yuan, where large numbers of protesters have gathered. Many of them are students. We can also see professors, lawyers, social activists, and members of the general public. The atmosphere here is serious but organized. The protesters are holding signs, shouting slogans, and calling for the government to listen to the people. Many of the signs here mention the words such as democracy, transparency, and the anti-black box procedure. Protesters say they are not simply against trade-off communication with China. Instead, they are mainly opposing what they describe as a black box decision-making process. In their view, such an important agreement should be passed without enough review and public participation. Some students at the scene told us that they came here because they believe the agreement should influence Taiwan's economy, job markets, and the political future. They also say that young people should have the right to speak up because they will be the ones living with the long-term consequence of these policies. The situation continued to develop quickly. The second major event was the large-scale public support outside the Legislative Yuan. As news of the occupation spread, more and more people come to the area around the legislature. Students from different universities arrived to show support. Professors gave speech and explained the possible impact of the agreement. Lawyers provide legal advice. Medical volunteers helped people who were tired or injured. Many ordinary citizens also brought food, water, raincoats, blankets, and other supplies. The scene outside the Legislative Yuan became more than just a protest site. It turned to a public forum where people discussed democracy, cross-strait relations, economic policy, and Taiwan's future. Some people sat on the ground and listened to speeches. Others joined group discussions. Many volunteers helped keep the area clean and organized. One of the most noticeable features of the movement is the strong participation of young people. Many students say they are worried about their decisions about Taiwan's future are being made without enough public understanding. They believe that young citizens should not remain silent when major political decisions are made behind closed doors. At the same time, a movement also creates different opinions in society. Supporters believe the protest represents civic awakening and democratic participation. Critics argue that the occupation creates political instability and disrupt the normal operation of government.
Because of these different views, the movement is generating intense debates across Taiwan.
Here continue to emphasize that their movement is about protecting democracy procedure. Many of them say they are not against all economic agreements. but they believe any agreements that they affect Taiwan's future must be reviewed carefully and openly. Some students told us that the most important message of the movement is simple. The government must not ignore the people. They believe that citizens have the right to know what the government is doing, especially when the issue involves Taiwan's relationship with China. The protesters are also calling for more civic participations. They hope this movement can encourage more young people to care about public affairs. In their view, democracy should not be limited to voting once every few years. Instead, citizens should continue to supervise the government and speak out when they believe something is wrong.
Thank you for the live report. To summarize, the Sunflower Movement began because the controversy over the Cross-Strait Service Trade Agreement and the government's review process.
So far, protesters have occupied the Legislative Yuan, and large numbers of citizens has gathered outside to show support.
Their main demands are to restart the review of the agreement, create a transparent monitoring system for future cross-strait agreements, and to ensure that major policies are discussed openly and democratically. This has been our special news reports on the Sunflower Movement. We will continue to follow the latest developments. Thanks for watching.